It's not a mystery to me. The same thing that happened to my daughter is what happened to Whitney. There's only one person that was around both occasions.
You won't say his name. Nick Gordon is who you're referring to.
I won't say his name.
Whitney Houston and Bobbi Brown's daughter, Bobbi Kristina Brown, has been gone for a long time now. However, her father still believes that the events around her death do not make sense. Just like many others, Bobbi has spoken many times about how the situation surrounding her passing still seems unclear to him. Krissy's ex, Nick Gordon, may have been responsible not only for her death, but also for Whitney's death. I want everyone to know that Bobbi Kristina did not die from the bathtub incident. That is not what really happened. Bobbi Kristina was starved to death. Bobbi believes he knows what happened. He says, "I do not know exactly what happened that night, but he does." When he walked into that room, he saw her just like he saw Whitney. It felt like living through a nightmare all over again. There are many things being said about the story, and some people believe that Krissy knew what really happened to her mom. Some also say that the strange similarities between their deaths were not just a coincidence, but something that was planned. I have also heard a lot about how Bobbi Kristina was there during many of her mother's arguments with people, including Clive.
And then it's Grammy time, and her and Clive had a fight 2 days before. And from what I was told, Bobbi Kristina was present for some of that fight. And then the next thing you know, she's dead.
So, what exactly did Krissy know about her mom's death, and could it have something to do with her own death? Let us take a closer look. To give you some background, Bobbi Kristina grew up in the spotlight and often appeared with her mother, Whitney. She made appearances, like when she was just 8 months old during an interview with Barbara Walters, and when she was only 1, she joined her mom on stage at the 1994 American Music Awards as Whitney accepted an award. When her mother passed away, Krissy felt the loss deeply and suffered a lot. She was even hospitalized because of how much pain she was in. Bobbi Kristina went through a very hard time after her mother's body was found in her Beverly Hills hotel room. She struggled a lot, but she tried to stay strong for her mother's funeral and memorial services in the days that followed. Whitney's death brought more attention to Bobbi Kristina, and even though her family tried to keep her safe, she eventually joined a Tyler Perry TV series. She also appeared at the Billboard Music Awards and did an interview with Oprah, along with many other public appearances. Sadly, she did not live long enough to continue with her career and the life she had ahead of her. On January 31st, 2015, Bobbi Kristina was found unresponsive in the Georgia home she shared with Nick Gordon. She was discovered unconscious in a bathtub, just like her mother had been. Sadly, she passed away in hospice on July 26, 2015. The cause of her death was determined to be a mix of drowning and intoxication, according to the Fulton County Medical Examiner. The toxicology report showed that she had alcohol, a Coca-Cola-related substance, sedatives, anti-anxiety medications, and morphine in her system. However, the medical examiner's office could not figure out whether her death was an accident or something else. It was unclear whether Bobbi Kristina's death was intentional or accidental. At that time, the authorities simply said that the main cause of her death was the condition that started the series of events leading to her passing. In her case, it was the immersion caused by intoxication, which led to pneumonia and other health problems. Bobbi Kristina's death closely mirrored her mother's, who passed away on February 11, 2012, at the age of 48. Just like her daughter, Whitney Houston was found unresponsive and submerged in a bathtub. Whitney Houston passed away at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in Beverly Hills. Reports say that her death happened due to accidental drowning in a bathtub. Toxicology results showed a small amount of Coca-Cola in her body, along with traces of Xanax and other substances. Official reports suggested that it is possible Whitney may have had a heart attack, which could have been caused by hardening of the arteries. This may have led her to lose consciousness and drown. However, it is important to note that the coroner did not find any clear evidence of a heart attack. Some people think the story about Whitney having a heart attack may have been a cover-up. In fact, the coroner only mentioned that Whitney had mild heart disease and some blockage in her arteries, which happens to many smokers. The idea that she fell into the tub because of a heart attack was not proven by the autopsy report. As for the Coca-Cola found in her system, the coroner said she had consumed some, but not a lot, so it could not have caused her death. The big question that people still wonder is what really caused her to lose consciousness and end up in the bathtub. Whitney was found lying in a bathtub with very hot water, and she could not get herself out. After her death, it was discovered that there was not enough water in her lungs to show that she had drowned. This makes it seem very possible that someone may have put her in the bathtub, and she did not pass out while she was in it. When people talk about Whitney's strange death, two names often come up: Bobbi Kristina's ex, Nick Gordon, and Ray J.
Ray J was the last person to see her alive. He let the dealer in, but she was sober, right? But he let the dealer in that gave her the shot. Leola Brown, Bobbi Brown's sister, has said on several occasions that she was beat. They saw her body. She didn't just die in a tub, like she was beat up.
Ray J was the last person to have a public connection with Whitney, but their relationship was not steady, and they never openly said they were a couple. On the day Whitney passed away, Ray J said he was not at the party, but there were several reports that said he was there. Ray J said he was not there, but it seems he may have lied. People who were at the party said that Brandy was asking for her brother, which makes you wonder, why would she be looking for him if he was not there? Things got even more suspicious when Ray J and Raffles were seen quickly leaving the back with Brandy Burnside that same evening. It was strange because Raffles clearly did not like Ray J, so why would he be helping him sneak out? To make matters even more interesting, Lola Brown, the sister of Whitney's ex-husband Bobbi Brown, said soon after Whitney's death that Ray J had been helping Whitney get whatever she was using and might have been the one who gave her a bad batch.
I saw Ray J coming out of the hotel, hiding his head, being pushed into the car. Why? I looked and I said, why is he hiding? Why is he hiding his face? He's always trying to show his face when he's around Whitney. Why now? Why are you trying to hide now, Ray J? And I put it all together. When I first heard she passed away, I said, my God, somebody gave her a bad bag. Yes, I promise you, that was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And then I saw Ray J, and it all added up.
It also makes things more suspicious that before Whitney passed away, she gave Ray J's sister Brandy a note when she interrupted an interview with Brandy, Monica, and Clive. To this day, Brandy still refuses to say what the note said. In another interview, she said, "I am just going to keep it to myself for my own personal reasons." However, many people believe that the note Whitney gave her had something important in it. Some people think Whitney may have given the note to Brandy in front of the cameras on purpose, just in case something happened to her. When she passed the note, she kept paying attention to Monica and Clive so that Brandy would have enough time to read it. It just does not seem right that Whitney Houston would interrupt a recorded interview just to say hello while she was wet and fully dressed, only to pass a note to Brandy and kiss her at the end. If you listen closely, you can even hear her say, "I nearly drowned today." People have also noticed that Brandy talks about everything when things are good, but when things are bad, she keeps quiet. This makes many believe that the note Whitney gave her had something serious in it, and her face showed it when she received it. Many people have always thought that Bobbi Kristina found out what really happened to her mother. Some reports even say that she had proof of it. In fact, according to what Jaguar revealed, Bobbi Kristina was there when Whitney had her arguments with people before she passed away.
And then it's Grammy time. That happened. And her and Clive had a fight 2 days before. And from what I was told, Bobbi Kristina was present for some of that fight. And then the next thing you know, she's dead.
There have been theories suggesting that Clive might have been involved in Whitney's death. If Bobbi Kristina was there during some of the arguments, she most likely heard things she was not supposed to hear. And the fact that Whitney passed away at a Clive party just makes it all more confusing. The circumstances around Bobbi Kristina's death and how similar it was to her mother's have never really made sense, especially when you think about what was going on between her and Nick Gordon.
This is a young man who swears to God that he loves my niece, but yet you drag her up the steps, you pull her by her hair, you pull her by her hair and you punch her in the face and you knock 2 of her teeth out of her mouth.
Bobbi Kristina had plans to visit Los Angeles to celebrate her dad's birthday with the family. She was also thinking about moving there permanently to be closer to Bobby and focus on her career. Reports say she was excited to continue her mother's legacy and to build a closer relationship with her father. But Nick did not want her to be close to anyone because he knew that once Bobbi Kristina left, everything would be over for him. It is even said that she was supposed to meet a friend on the same day she was found in the bathtub to tell her that Nick was not the person she thought he was. People close to Bobbi Kristina say that the day she planned to tell Nick about her plans, she was upset and under the influence. When Nick returned after being out, they argued, and then Nick attacked her before leaving her alone in the room. This is what allegedly happened. Soon after Bobbi Kristina was moved to hospice care, her court-appointed conservator filed a complaint against Nick Gordon, seeking justice on her behalf. The complaint accused Nick of causing serious harm and stealing from her. Nick Gordon is said to have tried to make money by pretending to be Bobbi Kristina's husband. Later on, the conservator filed an updated complaint, accusing him of causing Bobbi Kristina's wrongful death. The complaint claimed that the two had a big argument, which led Nick to give Bobbi Kristina a dangerous mixture that made her unconscious before he put her face down in the bathtub. Bobby Brown, Bobbi Kristina's father, believes that Nick Gordon was there during both Whitney and Bobbi Kristina's deaths, and he thinks Nick may have been involved in both of them. Nick denied the accusations and even suggested that Bobbi Kristina's father, Bobby Brown, was responsible for her death. Sadly, Nick passed away a few years later, leaving no one who can say for sure what truly happened to Whitney and Bobbi Kristina, or if their deaths were somehow connected and planned. I honestly do not know if Nick was behind both deaths or if someone more powerful had a role in it, but what I can say is that both Whitney and Bobbi Kristina's deaths never really made sense to anyone. Don't you find the similarities a little strange? Do you believe Nick was involved, or could someone more powerful have influenced him? Share your thoughts in the comments below.